Konnichiwa, me lassies. Today we're going to be making shepherd's pie on this episode of Castle Kitchen, episode 3, season 3. Now, this is now hot gold. Nah, it's more Halloween. You know, the Celtics came up with Halloween around Stonehenge, don't you? Anywho, we don't have gold in this. It's not gold. I'm not the leprechaun. Anywho, we're going to be making shepherd's pie today. We're going to be using lamb meat. Not from lambs though. We're going to be using from shepherds. Hold up. 4 men. They got and then said the sheep. They become the sheep. As we say, we're going to be making shepherd's pie. It's going to be good. It's going to be great. It's going to be delicious. Now, let's get on over here and check out our ingredients, shall we, lassies? Following the post leprechaun with the no pot of gold. So as you can see, we have our wide array of ingredients here. Everything that you're going to need to make this shepherd's pie. Let's see. Let's break this down into meats and mashed potatoes. You're going to need both shepherd's pie. Go figure. Anyway, we're going to need, obviously, as I said before, our ground shepherds. Not the lamb. Forget the lamb. Ground shepherd. And it has to be an Irishman, so if you can mail order them from Ireland, something, I don't know. We're going to need our poison juice. We're going to need our poison fruit. We're going to also need our, here it is, that's what I meant. There we go, Minotaur oil. And we're also, I'm holding it right here in my hand. And we're also going to need our beef plasma, to be clear here, beef plasma. We're going to need our garlic, square carrots, peas, so grab all those. There we go. We're going to need crushed roses, herbs of the funeral, we're going to need weeping powder. I was going to need some vampire blood. And we're also going to need some bone powder. And I believe that's about all it. Yep, that's it for the meat. Potatoes now. We're going to need golden. This is not to actual size. I'm using a much smaller one. You use the much larger golden potatoes. You're going to need about, I'll explain it in the photos. What else are you going to need for that? Now, spoiled milk, animal fat, and some Guinness. Along with some sneezing powder. And that's pretty much about it. We're just going to take all that, put it all together, bake it in the oven, bam. First we're going to do our meat. We're going to season that first, and then we'll deal with our potatoes. While we're cooking our meat though, we are boiling our potatoes, that way we can mash them later. I'm just saying that we're going to take care of the mashing of the potatoes later. We have to first boil them. But, on with the show. Alright, now then. We already pre-washed our potatoes here. And like before, we're just going to stick a fork right in them. And we're going to start peeling away. Now again, I don't particularly like the skin. I mean, you could use the skin if you want. That's your choice. I don't like it, so I get rid of it. And voila. We got rid of all that skin. Perfectly clean. Now what we're going to do with this is we're going to chop it, cut it into cubes, and then we're going to stick that in our cold water right here. Then we're going to take our cold water full of our diced potatoes and put it on the oven. We're going to let it boil. This is how you get them nice and soft. You don't put them in boiling water. It's going to take longer, and it's going to be it's not going to be the right way. You want to put it this way, with cold water, and then put it on to boil. Counterintuitive, yes, but it's a must to get the perfect mashed potato. Alright, after chopping up our potatoes, we're going to right there to boil. Now once it starts boiling and all that, you kind of want to just leave it there for about, let's say 15 minutes or so. Let them get nice and soft. While that's going on, we're going to be heating up our pan over here for our ground shepherd. And we're going to use our ingredients that we spoke of over here. Mix it in, all in, put it in there. Simple as that. So by the time this is done, this should be soft, this should be mashed, put on top, put in the oven, done. So let's get down to it and go ahead and grab our ground shepherd. Hey, shepherd, come here. Okay, our pan is nice and hot, so we're going to take our Minotaur oil, pour that in there. And we're going to take our ground shepherd. Right in there. Kind of break it up in little pieces. That'll be good enough. Now we set this to low medium heat. So it's not like it's sizzling or anything like that, it's just low enough. Just kind of wait until it starts turning a little brown, and then we'll add the rest of this in there. Alright, so our meat is starting to get a little bit brown. I mean, it's still fairly red, but that's how you want it. So we're going to take our dry ingredients here. Just mix them up a little bit. Good sprinkle on top. All right, make sure that's blended. Now normally you would use a full pound of ground shepherd, but we don't use that. We're not going to use that right now. We're going to instead only use half of that for our purposes. I did list the full ingredients for this, full amount, since we're only using half. Now once this browns a bit more, how we like it, we'll take it off the heat source and we'll dump some of this grease . Don't really need it for our final our final product. But see, now now the meat's all nice and seasoned. It's turning that nice brown color. Our potatoes over here are boiling. Well, they're starting to. Not quite there yet. Alright, we're going to take our meat here that now we have nice and brown as you can see. I mean, sure, there might be some pink, but whatever. We're going to take all this little grease right here and we're going to dump that. So we're going to take that and just dump it. Alright, we're back and we dumped our grease. Put it back on our heat source here. Going to go ahead and our poison fruit. There. A little bit for poison. Give that a quick stir. And we're going to add our beef plasma. Add our bone powder. Now the bone powder is for thickening. If you don't know this already. There we are. So that's nice and blended in there. Go ahead and add our vampire blood. Now we already added our herbal dry seasoning. Go ahead and add our were carrots, peas, and weeping and stinky rose. Mix that all together. Coat that evenly on top. And stir it in. It's going to make a nice broth. And if you could smell this, it smells oh so good. Now, some of you might like frozen peas or frozen were carrots, but not me. Oh, maybe I prefer it fresh. Make it into nice dehydrated powder. Mix it in there. Yeah, that's my touch on everything. Yeah, and that's it. We're just gonna let this cook a little bit longer. Make it into this nice broth. And as you can see over here, our potatoes are starting to boil. Not quite there yet, almost. Once they're nice and soft, which you can test with a fork, you just kind of poke it in there and you test how soft they are. Then you pull it off the heat. And once it's off the heat, obviously go ahead and dry them out, mash them, and we'll be set. Alright, we're going to take our little stew mixture, pour it all in there. Obviously, you're going to need a much bigger dish for the full thing, the full recipe. Get all that in there. Alright, so we're going to take this, spread it around, coat the bottom. Nice, even spread all around. All those nooks and crannies. There we go. Good. Now I believe our potatoes are done, and we'll go ahead and grab those. Our dried chopped potatoes. Place them all in there. Pour in our spoiled milk. Grab our masher. Smash it a little bit just to get the ball rolling. Alright. We're going to take our animal fat now. Drop that in there. Continue to mash all the way. Alright, once it's pretty mashed up, I'm going to take our Guinness here, just pour it right in there. Alright, just continue to mash. Alright, I would say that's good enough. Have a little spatula here. Scrape some of this off of this masher. Alright. I'm going to take our meat over here. Take our potatoes. I'm going to put our potatoes on top of our meat. Now don't press down, just gently smooth it out on top. If you press down, you're gonna push displace the meat, and it's just gonna, well, make a bare spot, and that's just gonna look weird. Alright, we set our oven to 400. Pop that right in there. Close it up. And set our timer for 20 minutes. And that's about it. The other possibility that you could do after you do this, so you don't burn it afterwards, you just put it on the broil, is you put some cheese on top of it. That's a suggestion, I mean, if you want to do that. I didn't do that, but you can. Just bake it, sprinkle the cheese on top, broil it, voila. Just a suggestion. So, now we just wait, and soon we'll be having our delicious shepherd's pie. And here we have, after 20 minutes in the oven, our finished product. our one-of-a-kind shepherd's pie. See? Nice and golden on top. Cooked to perfection. Nice layering. And as a bonus, we have a nice drink to go along with it. This one's called an Irish Maiden. Very subtly sweet drink with some Irish whiskey. But there you go. That'll conclude episode 3 of season 3 with our shepherd's pie. I'll be sure to leave the ingredients for our cocktail. Until then, we'll see you again on episode 4. We'll be making a Irish coffee cake. Till then, this is your host, the Phantom Chef.